Bennifer is back. Brad and Jen are friends again. And Paris Hilton is somehow still making headlines. 20 years later, we're living in the world that the 2000s tabloids created. On this series, I'm going to tell you the story of a decade of American life through the trash we love to consume. From Spotify and the Ringer Podcast Network, I'm Claire Malone, and this is Just Like Us, the tabloids that changed America. Listen on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Bachelor Party. It's the most dramatic fantasy suites ever. Kind of. I'm Juliet Litman. I'm here with Callie Curry. Callie.
What up?
Did this live up to the hype for you? We've been working towards this for like 2 months. How are you feeling?
I really, really liked the episode. Did it live up to the hype? I don't know. The hype was just really, really high.
How did it compare to the fence jump for you?
Oh, I like the fence jump more.
The fence jump was such an incredible feat of athleticism that I wasn't prepared for Colton to have. So it's hard to live up to that. But I will say I got a lot from this episode that I'm excited to dig into.
A lot. But I also was expecting something like this to happen. I thought it was Gabby, not Susie. Susie was like, I did not even imagine that.
Me neither. Didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming before the episode. And then the whole episode, they were basically like telling you Susie's coming up with every fucking reason she could think of for why she can't be with Clayton.
Yes.
But the fence jump, I feel like I had no clue that was going to happen.
Were you not watching the commercials or what? Like,
oh, no, not the fence jump, but like why he jumped the fence.
Oh,
like I just didn't think, what's her name? Cassie. I didn't think Cassie was going to peace out. So
I don't know. I think with this, I was just surprised by the time. Yeah, I think you said it right. Like I texted this to you too. I was like, she's just looking for every reason to not be with him. Like she's just not that into him is sort of what it comes down to. And she was spiraling. One of my favorite moments of the episode is when she says, "I'm spiraling," and they show her walking down a very large spiral staircase. It was real. That was a nice touch, Bachelor editors. But it didn't make a lot of sense. Ultimately, I had to go back and watch the one place where like my mind, I was like, wait, how did we get here? When he's opening the car door to put Susie into the car, I'm just like, I felt like I had like whiplash. I was like, how the fuck did we get here? And I was so confused. It was a lot.
It was a lot. I don't think that Clayton handled it particularly well, but also I get it because I was also like, what the fuck? Like I would have been the same way if I was Clayton. Like, why wouldn't you have told me this earlier? Like,
okay, let's get into it. Let's talk about all the different angles from this. So Susie and Clayton have broken up because Susie cannot cannot go further with Clayton because he has told other women he's in love with them, and more crucially, I think he's in love with the other two women.
That was the kicker.
And then Clayton has also decided he's over it, and he's just like, "We're done here," and he basically sends her home. Basically, gives her the Sarah treatment, which is very similar. He's like, "I'm over it." It's like he flips a switch and he can't come back from it, and so. Overall, did you have sympathy or empathy for Susie's position? Like, how did you feel about what she was explaining?
I mean, I didn't. Maybe I need to take a step back out. I mean, I feel like it's still fresh for me. I don't get it because she never explained that to him, and it seems like she was clearly the favorite. Like,
sure.
He even said, I might be in love with the other two and I'm already in love with Susie.
Yes. So, that was early on in the episode. So like heading into this week, he seems to have known it was Susie. He told the cameras it was Susie. And yet he was like falling in love with the other two.
Yeah, I think he was saying, I'm already there with Susie. I might be able to get there with the other two, but I'm already there for Susie. So I'm like, if Susie, first of all, really wanted to win this, which doesn't seem like she did.
No.
If she did, she would have told him, and I would bet he wouldn't have slept with the other two girls. women. Sorry.
I agree. That he probably wouldn't have if he knew that was a deal breaker for her, because it seems like he decided. But like on the other hand, I do think he's genuinely confused and like obviously just really likes having sex, which I think is true for many people, particularly many men. But he's like so happy in those morning after scenes. Like he yelled to Rachel, "I love you too, Rachel." And then he yelled to, what's her name? Gabby. I'm falling in love with you. And it feels so good, which we've been like working up to for a long time. Like this man, I think he just like loves, as they would say, intimacy, which like I get it. It's not, doesn't make him unique, but like this just seemed like some real thinking with your dick behavior.
I don't think so.
You don't?
No, like he's trying to decide who he's going to marry. I think it's totally okay for him to have sex with all three of them.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. But if he had decided already that it was Susie,
I don't know if he decided. I think she was leading. Like he said, I'm already there and I might be able to get there with the other two. So I feel like he was like, I can't believe I'm already in love with her and I might be falling in love with those two. Like, I don't think he was like, for sure, Susie, done deal. I think he was thinking, it seems like it's going to be Susie. But, you know, if someone, you know, knocks me off my feet right here in the bedroom, I might have to reconsider.
After the spiral staircase and I'm spiraling moment, my second favorite moment of the episode was when Clayton like keeps messing up and he's like trying to make it seem like he's only slept with one of them. And then he finally has to admit, and he goes, Both. That was so great.
Oh my God. I was dying at that part because he, in the very beginning, you could tell he was like, if I, yes, I was intimate with somebody. Like he didn't know how to phrase it. And then
tried
finally,
to make it seem like it could be like any human in the world. Not that she didn't know who the other two were.
And then finally he was like, fuck it. I slept with both of them.
Yeah. He's like, fuck it. We'll do it live. But that moment was so funny. I feel like we did see a different side of Clayton. It kind of came out with Sarah a few weeks ago. But
he cracked a little.
When he gets frustrated, he just gets really angry and like petulant. And
I did like that he acknowledged that. Like he was like, I can't even continue on with this conversation right now. I'm giving you a version of myself that I don't like. And like, I know I'm being whatever, like angry. I just don't want to continue on, which I think that is the right play for men in general. If they're getting too
take a step back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for almost anyone, not just men. Like if you're getting really angry, like, you know, take some time away, reset, calm down, gather your composure. But
someone like Clayton really has to, because he has the capacity to. He's just a big, strong guy.
Big dude,
so yeah.
So I think he's going to be accused of gaslighting because he sort of flipped it back on her. And
I can't hear that word again.
I agree. I don't think he did that. I do think that I felt bad for her by the end, that she was like, I'm really sorry. I know I didn't handle this well. Like, I want you to know, like, that meant a lot to me. Because he was really mean. He was like, this invalidates everything.
Yeah, because it does.
I mean,
how do you expect him to act? He was thinking this woman she was for sure going to at least be top two. So he's thinking about marriage with her. And then for that to be the reason, I think it's a fair thing. I personally don't feel that way, but I'm fine with her feeling that way. You can't wait till after he's had overnights with two of them to tell him that. So to me, whether it's true or not,
when she saw them come back in, they're like so smiley and like, oh, it's awkward. It's like, yeah, obviously we know what happened.
Yeah, it just felt like she maybe was freaking out because this is a lot, like obviously getting engaged and all that. And maybe she was like, I just don't think I'm there with him. And I'm really nervous that I'm going to be the one.
I thought it was pretty telling that he said, I love you. I don't expect you to say it back. And she didn't say it back. I thought that was a pretty big moment where she just doesn't feel as strongly about him as he apparently does about her, which is completely fine.
Yeah.
But I guess
why not just say that? Like Serene basically said that.
Yeah.
Serene.
Serene. She's your favorite. How do you not know her name?
I don't know, man. There's so many Serenas. Serene. No. Serena. We're talking about 2 different people.
Oh, you're talking about from Matt's season.
Yeah, like she basically was like, it's a no for me. Like, she could have done the exact same thing instead of blaming it on him having sex with people who he's trying to decide if he's going to marry them or not.
I'm just trying to think through. Like, she was definitely panicking, and you could see her like. You could sort of like see her breaking down over the course of the week. I thought she looked really beautiful in the green dress at the end. I thought her hair looked really good. Her makeup looked great. But I thought
probably made it worse.
What'd you say?
Just made it worse.
I thought that was in stark contrast to how she looked the rest of the week. And maybe like she just was like felt like she was in such disarray. She didn't put on makeup or whatever. I mean, she's like a really pretty girl. She doesn't need it. But you could just tell that she was like not feeling good, and it manifested in how she like presented herself as well. Although also like maybe that was partially the edit, but still like, yeah. But still I was just like, oh, okay. So she's taking this hard. I don't know. I just think she ultimately wasn't that into him. It's kind of a Greg, right? Like she kind of pulled a Greg where he self-immolated essentially. And she kind of did the same thing, but
yeah, I think Greg's was way worse, but yes. That's why I didn't feel bad for her, because I was just like, I don't think you were really truthful about the situation. Like,
but I think I don't think she's in touch with how she truly feels. I think that she thinks she's just like coming up with a reason to not be with him because she can't like articulate to herself or to him that like, I'm just not that into you.
I think she knows she's not that into him. And I think she was trying to think of whatever, because she doesn't like, no one wants to hurt people's feelings, right? That's just like not a fun thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that maybe she is into him and she's just nervous about it all and like was just like, I can't do this anymore. This is too much.
Yeah, I think she just wanted out. She also probably didn't want to be turned down, take the risk of like being rejected.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I could understand how she freaked out.
Yeah, I
don't know. I don't feel bad for her, because I would like 9 times out of 10 people are going to react like Clayton.
I guess he was just like, he just goes from like really sweet like cornball to really angry guy really fast. And that freaks me out, that kind of pent up anger.
Switch. Yeah.
Yeah. And he just got so frustrated. I don't know. It's like he's not used to having all these emotions. I feel like he's probably just someone who hasn't experienced a wide range of emotion, or like the full spectrum. Because like the highs seem really high for him, and then the lows are really low. And conflict like just completely befuddles him. Like he has to like leave. He doesn't know what to do with it. And I just feel like this is all new.
Yes.
But he's such a dummy though. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Like I don't know another way that someone would have reacted. Like, I feel like most people in that situation would have been like, wait, what? Like, how did you not tell me this earlier? Are you really done? Like, I just told you I love you.
I know.
Like, there was a lot that happened.
He's the one
who should have spoke first.
He's the one who said that he was done. She didn't try to end it. He's the one who was like, it's done.
I mean, she basically said she couldn't go on, and then she left and came back and was like, I just don't see a way I can go on. And he was like, oh, okay, so you're done. Okay, we're done. I'm done.
I guess it's true. That is true. Like, she kind of closed it off, and then he just like sealed the deal. But I just think that when he was like, I'm going to try to like convince you, his questions and such were weird. I guess here's the thing. I hear what you're saying. But if I were Susie, I would be the same way too. She basically tested him, like assuming she actually wanted to be with him. It was like a test, like, will you sleep with the other two? Because I have heard that the lead...
I don't like tests.
Yeah, I mean, it's messed up. It's immature. She should.
Oh, you have heard that the lead doesn't always sleep with all 3.
Yeah, because he or she wants to like protect the relationship if they know who they're going to pick. And so,
I mean, you're on The Bachelor. I don't care.
I know, and also like. It's gross though. If you were Susie and you also like knew you went third, it's like, oh God, it's awkward.
I just wouldn't sleep with you.
Yeah. I think that's another thing though. Like maybe she didn't want to have to be in the position to like turn him down.
I mean, you can say, I just don't feel comfortable.
I don't know. For some reason, I feel bad for her and you just don't.
No, I don't. I think what she did is like, I think her getting out of it, like all fair, her wanting to leave, fair, whatever. I just don't feel bad for her because she created it. And I don't think he reacted like, I don't know the correct way to react to that, because I feel like it was probably shocking for him.
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't like mean or like Greg, for example, like lost it and like there wasn't any shouting. Like he was fine. You could just tell that he was like, I'm done. I can't keep doing this. This is so frustrating, which I think most people would have been frustrated. I feel like I would have felt bad for her if he kept going and didn't realize like I can't keep going because I'm not giving you a good version of myself. Him saying that made me feel like, okay, like he's past his limit. He's done. Plus, I don't think she was ever coming back. Like, I don't think there was a like, oh, if you would have reacted well to this, like when she was like, oh, so now, like she tried to like flip it back on him. Like you were done. You said you were done multiple times.
She then was just like apologizing so much. I think that's why I felt bad for her. Like she clearly felt so bad. It's because I think that I
it's a sucky situation.
I understand where she's coming from. I understand where he was coming from. But then like just to see her like repeatedly apologize and him just be so angry, I don't know. It just made me sad. And then but I was happy she got out of there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Happy she got out of there. Don't feel bad for her because she ended up getting what she wanted.
Which is to not be with Clayton.
Yeah. Which is I really do think that's what she wanted. Don't think she's a bad person or anything. Like I think she was like, yeah. She's totally fine. I don't have anything against her. I just don't feel bad for her.
I think she was very confused, which she said that this was like all very confusing for her. But I think that she like couldn't name some of her emotions. Everyone needs therapy on the show. Is just what I'll say. Like, you know,
I think everyone, period, needs
in the world.
Therapy.
Yeah. Clayton actually, you know, as we've been saying, he's good about removing himself from a situation when he needs to. But I don't know. I really didn't see it coming. Also, they had the best date, except for the cold. Like all the cold aspects of the date, awful. But like the warm parts, like with the hot springs and the shower and the sauna, that part all seemed really fun.
Yeah, but even then, I could tell something was off.
Why? Because she just didn't see.
I was like, Susie is not into this right now. Like you could just tell that it looked like the whole episode she was trying to figure out how to tell Clayton it's over.
She wasn't into it. She didn't like being one of three, which is totally understandable, but probably should have eliminated sooner. Also,
or like, not come on the show. You're one of 30.
Susie seemed shocked that he was in love with her, which I thought was really funny. And I want to talk about his reaction to all of the women on the various dates. And like, we can start with Susie, but she was genuinely surprised when he was like, I love you. I realized that I'm not just falling in love with you. Like I'm in love with you. Like she was legitimately shocked. And
I think she was shocked, but she knew it was coming next too. So I felt like she was also like, oh, fuck. This is going to make it even worse.
Even harder. Yeah. It's true because even when he said that, she wasn't excited. She was just like, okay, well, I need to know if you did X, Y, and Z.
She went straight into it afterwards.
Yeah.
She was like, wow. Okay. So did you have sex with the other two people? Because if you did, it's over.
I wonder if that was another test. If it was like, is he going to tell me the truth? Did you watch Younger?
Mm-hmm.
This is like how Charles tested Liza.
Oh, I did not like that.
Me neither. One of the worst endings of any TV show in the history of television. It made me furious. Anyway, though, because I feel like she was testing him to see if he would sleep with the other two. And then she was testing him to see if he would tell the truth. Because she clearly knew. She could tell from the other women. They may have even told her directly. Like, who knows? Although, if I'm Gabby or Rachel, having to like spend time together and like not address how you both just slept with this dude, it's just like, I mean, really I assume weird. They would. Really weird. I don't know. I can't think of anything that would be more uncomfortable.
I'm sure there's things that are more uncomfortable, but
that's up there.
They all seem so nice to each other.
I know they seem to really like each other, and they said it. We all respect each other so much.
I thought you were gonna say, if I'm Gabby or Rachel watching this, probably done. I'm out.
Yeah, you're not. You can't be with Clayton after that. Also, it seems like he's gonna go to her door when he knocks on that door in the teaser at the end. The hotel room.
Door?
I think it's Susie.
You think she comes back?
I think he goes to her. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Jesse also has information that changes everything. So.
Yeah. Well, now do you see why I think he's single?
Yes, totally. Now I get it. It's a great call. Or like
that on top of Teddy's comment, I was like, oh, he's definitely single.
It's not.
I mean, he might not be. But
not good for Clayton. Let's talk about let's talk about the other two dates, and then we'll come back to the Susie stuff at the end and where we see this going. But Rachel went first. They went spelunking. I think that's what it's called when you go down into a cave. That looked awesome.
No thanks. Apps. I wouldn't have done it.
Really? Why not?
No way. I have goosebumps right now. I wish you guys could see my skin.
What part of that freaks you out?
400 feet down into a volcano.
Seems awesome. Okay.
I'm like the claustrophobic. Like, what if the thing broke? What if I hated even watching it.
Okay.
It's
I
too much.
have a really important question. I've been asking this to a lot of people. It's a straw poll. Would you rather go to
Great.
space or go in a submarine?
Oh man.
I'll tell you my answer if you'd like to know while you think about it. I would rather go in a submarine because I don't fucking want to leave this earth. Who knows what's out there? It's so huge, so long to get there. And at least in a submarine, there's like rules of society and civilization. Like you follow protocol. This is how it goes. Space is like fucking anything can happen. And
I need to know the statistics on things. How many people have died in a submarine?
I don't know, Callie. I'm sorry. This is not about realistic
Also, how
mortality.
long do I have to be in space or in the submarine for?
Well, anywhere you're going to in space is going to take a really fucking long time. Like even going to the moon, the closest object is like a few months.
Yeah, but I don't need to go to the
days,
moon. I
maybe.
can just leave the atmosphere and come back, right?
Why would you do that?
For this fucking would you rather. I would never go to space or in a submarine. They both sound treacherous. I wouldn't even go on a cruise, let alone a submarine.
Cruise is a different situation. Cruise is absolutely not. Cruise is like
All bad.
never. I would never
All
go on
bad
a cruise.
options.
Also, it's really bad for the ocean. I love the ocean, so I would never
Would
do
you
that.
rather? I have a
Yes.
would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather? Oh, this is a really random one. Lick
Oh god.
a ball at the bottom of the Chuck E. Cheese ball pit
Okay.
or the floor of a deck of a cruise ship.
How many people are on the cruise?
It's a Disney cruise.
Oh my god. The ball, Chuck E. Cheese.
Ugh. So bad.
Both disgusting. Partially though, I feel like the texture of the ball would be less bad than like the wood
The
texture.
floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would just
I also
mouthwash
will
it up.
go with submarine because I'm imagining that there's submarine like I've never heard of a submarine just like exploding down there.
Yeah. Also, I feel like you could
Also,
bring
I
your
just wouldn't
children
look out
on
of the windows.
You could bring your children on the submarine probably. I don't know if they can go to space.
I don't want them either place. Are you kidding me? Stuck on a submarine with a 3-year-old? Fuck it.
Well-
Send me to space.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Love my daughter, but
I
a
thought
submarine with a kid sounds real bad.
well, she'd have a lot to explore, like a lot of like buttons to push
Yeah, that's what I want happening. Her
Watch
pushing
Vigil on
random.
on Peacock and then get back to me.
Okay.
Anyway, Rachel's date looked awesome to me. But so then they were just like hanging there and she's like, so what'd you think about my hometown? And she's like, do you have any questions? And he had nothing. He literally
Nothing.
had no follow-ups. And I was like, oh, Rachel's out. I thought he was really into her, but like he had
Yeah.
nothing to say to her in the cave, in the volcano.
I don't know if that's a good date. Also, you like, I don't know, you like fall down there and then what? They were just like stuck on that little thing,
I think it would
talking
be
really close to each other.
well, you know that she likes to do
I
that
know,
for
I
the
know. But
whispering.
still, I was just like, Then
I
they
thought
like
it was
just,
like good acoustics though. I was like, oh, this sounds cool on TV.
yeah, good acoustics. I don't like. The episode was just so crazy. I feel like the only time I felt Clayton was like thrilled was with Susie until he wasn't.
Yeah, seriously. He seemed like really unhappy on both the dates. And so when he tells Rachel at dinner that he's like really into her, I was just like, are you? Because I don't think so. He had no questions about her. I thought he was about to break up with her when she thought so as well.
When he was like, I have something to tell you.
Yeah.
The music was weird or something. I don't know if it like got quiet. It felt like he was going to be like, yeah, we're done.
It was just really bizarre. And I don't know, like their chemistry seems to have really faded away as he got more into Susie.
Can I also just say that Gabby, who just never stops surprising us.
Love Gabby.
How the hell did she know what Cerplunking or whatever it was called? Like, how did she know
Spelunking?
what? Yeah, whatever. How did she know what that
dune
was?
bugging or what? What Rachel did or what she
No.
did?
Remember when Rachel read her date
Oh,
and
yeah.
and Gabby was like, "Oh, maybe you're I don't know how to say the word.
Spelunking.
Spelunking." And Rachel was like, "Yeah, maybe. Wait, what is that?" And I was also like, how the hell does she know what that is? I didn't know what it was.
Well, Callie, Colorado is like the center of the outdoors, so maybe she did it there.
What did she call it? The Mecca of,
Yeah,
of outdoors? Yeah, maybe. I just think that's a really random word to know.
I know that Iceland is like a really hip place to go. Like in general, it's like very trendy, but like this made me want to go more than ever. It looked awesome. And it's like very fun. Also, a lot of like really cool open spaces. Like all the locations they had looked pretty nice, except for their hotel.
It does seem like there's a lot to do, like especially as a couple.
Yeah. Seems like a great couples trip, go in the lagoons and all the swimming and stuff, a nice spa day. That seemed awesome. Yeah. They've been there before. I remember I was thinking they went there in Allie fitted house ski season. And
the one thing that I really, really like though on vacation is just amazing food. I wonder what the food's like there.
I bet it's a lot of fish.
I mean, I love fish.
The beaches remind me a lot of Cape Cod, so it's pretty for me to look at. It looked very nice. Must have been freezing though. Cold?
Yeah.
They should just like have a rule that when you get to fantasy suites, it's like always somewhere tropical. Like I don't know what they're doing. It seems ridiculous to me.
I feel like it's like a let's cozy up, get toasty together. Clearly Clayton thought so.
Yeah, I mean he was definitely into it. I will say I think he looks in general better in cold weather clothing. However, he wore not one but two half zips with a blazer this week. He's
really into the half zip
with a blazer. It's awful. As you pointed out, I missed it last time, but now I was like really attuned to it. It was awful. And he also wore a bright orange sweater. It happened to like orange as like a clothing item color, but it was so bad. His styling has
I feel like
been
orange
awful.
is really in right now.
It's always been my favorite color. My friend from preschool and I, Katie, we're still very good friends. We used to see each other in the hallway. We would high five and go orange. And we still do it sometimes. This was a long time ago. Anyway, his fashion for like date night was just appalling. In fact, I have the episode paused on my screen right now, and he's making out with Rachel wearing a half zip and a blazer, and it's just like really awful.
I've never seen it before.
Me neither. He's just like a trendsetter in the worst way. It's not good. It's really not good.
I wonder I feel like usually the men are, especially the Bachelor, is styled decently.
Pretty well, yeah.
Yeah.
And then at another point, I think this was with Gabby, or maybe this was with Susie. I can't remember. He was wearing like a scarf under his blazer, and I was just like, "What is he doing? He looks completely ridiculous." I don't know. Wasn't a fan.
He's not like he's from a hot place either. Like,
yeah, he's from Missouri. Like, he should know what he's doing.
That sounds like something I would do. I have no idea how to wear a scarf.
You just gotta kind of like nuzzle your into it. It's good. I don't know.
I can't imagine wearing a scarf.
See you next winter. Ever? You've never worn one? They provide so much warmth.
I honestly don't think I've ever worn one.
Oh my God. Well, you'll need one if you're going to live in New York City next year.
I mean, I lived in Philly and didn't have one.
I hope that you might leave the house a little bit more in 2023. But who's to say?
I will say a big difference in Philly and New York is I could drive. So maybe I will need one since I will be in the street.
Yeah, nice. Anyway, him and Rachel, he said he's falling in love with her. We were all surprised, including Rachel, but her voice is back, so we were able to hear her.
Editing mishap on Rachel's.
What?
When she was standing on the balcony, it panned, the camera panned back, and you could see the cameraman.
Oh yeah,
standing next to her.
It was pretty funny. Also,
I just kept thinking, like, how weird. I just can't imagine being Rachel, like, standing on the balcony, like, hey, get this shot.
I know. And then he's like, and he yells back to
Actually,
her.
He's not.
I love you too.
She's not saying that. The producer's like, stand there, look over the balcony.
Also, making out like that with a camera in your face doesn't seem that fun.
No. The inflections of his voice with the I love you too's were
weird.
It felt like real though.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, because people don't talk like that. So I was just like, oh, he must really mean it.
He also maybe has never said it before. I just get obviously he's really out of his depth. I understand that. But I get the impression like he's really out of his depth and just doesn't know what to do. But I thought the fact that they made breakfast was kind of cute. There were some things happening on this episode that I was like, I'm not sure you've seen this before. Like, for example, I can't really remember other women or men being like, so what'd you think about the hometown? Like, they don't usually do like a post-mortem like that. But okay. I was like, I kind of liked it. It seemed realistic.
I'm like wrapping my head around this episode. There was just there was so much that happened, and I felt like I was up and down the whole time. Like, oh, he doesn't like Rachel. Oh, he's in love with Rachel. Oh, he doesn't like Gabby. Oh, he's in love with Gabby.
He's just
because I don't believe in the falling in love. Like, you're in love,
not.
So he must think he's in love.
It's so funny because like they just take like I'm falling in love to mean nothing. Like to me, that would be like a pretty big deal. I'd be like, you're falling in love with me? How exciting. But like they're just like, they don't even acknowledge it because it's just like one of the steps of being on this show. So like it's like, no big deal. And then only when he says like, I'm in love with you.
But it's
the same thing. Yes, it's the same. I understand. In the real world, we recognize that as the same thing.
So I don't know. It was up, down, and then Susie, I was like, oh, he's in love with her and she's not in love with him. And then it finally came out.
But I do believe that he was like, I'm in love here. Like, I don't know. Like he seemed.
Oh no, I think he loves all three of them.
I think he's just, everyone's confused.
Maybe the weirdness from him is him trying to figure out like, how do I love her too if I know I love Susie?
I know. It's like he's staring into their eyes, like hoping to like find an answer. He's like, if I look really hard and talk really slowly, maybe it'll become apparent.
Okay, but I mean, if I was dating three people at once, it'd be really, if they're all like great men, all have things and like it's after 5 dates, it'd be really hard for me to pick which one.
Also, you just must be feeling so many things. Like, how do you know like what you feel for one person versus another versus like what's just the high of being on TV versus the attention? Like,
also,
there's a lot going on here.
You're flying to different countries, going on crazy dates that you never would be. Like, this is like you're on like cloud 9 for I don't know. It's a lot. I can understand his predicament. I can understand how he thinks he's in love with three people. How old is he? 26?
I think he's 28.
28? Yeah, 28.
Does that change things for
young.
You? No.
Yeah, he's not that young, but I don't know. I think that this experience probably works different for different people.
Yeah.
And like some people are so ready for it to be done. They like pick their person and they're just like, let's just hurry this up.
Yeah, it's true. But he's clearly loving it. And he got to do a lot of cool things, which brings me to Gabby's date. Gabby being like, I hope we're going whale watching with strawberries and champagne was so funny. She's the best. I just like.
She's so good. I mean, I think after the Woman Tell All that Teddy seems like the front runner, but it would be an insane miss if they don't have Gabby, if she doesn't win. If there is a winner, I don't know what's happening.
He cannot pick Gabby or Teddy. Like, sorry, Gabby or Rachel. Like, he's broken over Susie, but I just don't know why. Like, I didn't know that strawberries and champagne.
I felt the same way about Katie though.
With Blake, but like, they already broke up, and Katie seems way more into being fuck you and picking someone.
Yeah, I guess I could see that, but like, I was just with Katie with Greg. I was like, there's no way she can pick anyone, and then she did.
But Clayton seems much more like rattled than Katie was. Like Katie was just sort of like, I'm picking someone. And maybe I blocked it out. I don't remember.
Katie was like bawling, crying.
The fact that she's already broken up with Blake and now has this new boyfriend, John, who we never got to see on the show, is so funny. But, at least they got together. They found each other.
Yeah, whatever works.
So Gabby was hoping for whale watching with strawberries and champagne, which did sound like a great time. However, I get really seasick, so that would be tough for me. But I'd have to take some Dramamine and then I would fall asleep, so it wouldn't be very fun. But then later on, like at the night portion of the date, they did have strawberries and champagne. So I'm just like, was she just talking about it for days on end, like hoping it'd show up?
She had to have been talking about it because that's so random. Out of all the dates,
the dune
whale
buggies?
whale watching with strawberries and champagne sounds like ideal for me.
Yeah, absolutely. You can also sounds the warmest.
Do you always get seasick? I feel like I've gotten seasick like a couple of times, but then I've gone on a boat and not. Like I just never know what's going to happen.
I get pretty seasick. I get really car sick. Like
Me too.
Really bad. I like avoid taking Ubers as a result because I just hate being in the back seat. But I get pretty bad motion sickness. I don't really get it on planes, but like even on the subway, if I'm like looking at my phone, I start to get sick too. So that would be
I feel
for
that
me.
on the train.
It's rough, but that's why I have to like I watch things now or if I can't read. But I thought her date seemed pretty fun. Then dune buggies. Then they went to like he called it a diner. I'd love to know what the Icelandic version of a diner is like. It seemed pretty fun. She just seems like so much more fun than everyone else on this show. Like I would just like love if
you know
I
how we
Clayton
talk about good hangs. I think we said she would be the best hang, but yeah,
she clearly is. She's just like fun and funny.
Yeah, she's funny.
Yeah, she makes jokes and like
also I just love
not dumb.
No, she knew what spelunking was. It's not dumb. Yeah. No, I don't think she's dumb. We've talked about like her accolades as a nurse. I don't think you could be dumb and also be great at being a nurse. So there's that. But I like her like kind of funny. Like her kind of humor is funny to me. And I love that she is fine with like not like some I think both women and men do this. Like they're too cool. Mm-hmm. She gives no fucks about being cool. Like she will look like an idiot to make someone laugh. Yeah. And I think that's really endearing.
She's great. I thought she was going to have a nip slip at several points with her gold dress. So I'm glad she didn't. Maybe she did. We just didn't see it. But I was like, that's not really staying in place. But okay.
All of them looked great.
Yeah. This is a very pretty group. I have to say, like, I've really soured on Rachel. I just kind of like can't stand her. The sound of her voice and like her smiling. It's just too much for me.
I think the whispers really turned me off, but she's fine now. Her TikTok brought me back.
Okay. I gotta explore it a little bit more.
Seeing that she's like actually really career driven, I just like really liked her TikTok. It's very normal.
That's great.
The editing of next week, there was something I saw where Susie was there. I might have been like a different shot from a different day or something, but they tried to make it seem like Susie was there.
I think he's gonna go to her room at the very end. I think that's what we saw at the very end when he like knocks
Jesse's
on the door.
News?
Maybe that she hadn't left or something. I don't know.
Or that she's reconsidering.
Jesse was not prepared to deal with. I would say Jesse's had a strong season. This week is not his strong suit. He didn't even try at the Women Tell All. And when Clayton like met up with him outside, he was good. Like, he's like, "What's up, man?" He didn't really have much to offer.
I also feel like he was probably like, "Yeah, man, this sucks. I didn't see that coming. I don't really know what to do here." Like, I don't know what you say.
Also, what was he doing all night that he was just like available? Like he was just like nearby, ready to.
The producers had to know it was about to
go down. He needed to stand
like I'm
by.
sure she was talking this whole time. Like if he did, and the producers were like, "It's not gonna be good."
I mean, I just can't believe that he's in love with Gabby. I don't know why, but she's just like very different than the other two.
Yeah,
so I have a hard time buying it. But
I do think the other two are similar.
Yes, I think so too. They're much more like cutesy and girly, and Gabby is much more. I think first of all, I think she's got way more sexual energy than the other two.
Yeah,
and she just like is more fun, as we keep saying.
Yeah, she's just goofy, like weirdo, like good energy.
Yeah,
and they seem more serious.
I thought in the coming attraction for next week, when Gabby was talking to the producers, which I really enjoyed, I thought it seemed like she made some good points. She was just like, how are we supposed to believe any of it if he's saying it to everyone? And she was like much more composed, whereas Rachel is absolutely beside herself, just sobbing. But she probably thought it was her. He probably told her it was her at some point. Because when he was like...
Gabby's reaction seemed much more like...
tempered.
No... Yes, tempered. But also, like, I feel like more people would react like Gabby in this situation.
Yeah, Rachel just seems like she, similar to Susie, is cracking, but cracking in the opposite way, where like she really wants it to work and she can't believe it might not. Whereas Susie is cracking because she's like, "Get me out of here. How do I hit the eject?"
Yeah, and Gabby's like, "This has been so much fun, and what the fuck? He told me he loved me and everyone else. That doesn't make sense.
The scenes of Clayton. Oh, sorry. I realized something. The person who knocks on the door isn't Clayton. It's Jesse. Jesse knocks on Clayton's door. I just was rewatching it as we were talking.
Huh.
They look so much alike from behind. It's hard to tell.
And that's when he's like, I have something that might change.
That might change everything.
What could it
I
be?
think it's that Susie didn't leave. That's my guess. That she's still around. Because they can't just like let her go.
I mean, they can.
I know, but that's not what they do. They like make you stay and like take you on a trip to like help you feel better so no one knows what happens, I think. If I recall correctly. But then I also like how we saw the scene of Clayton talking to Gabby in her room. So I wonder if just like everything goes haywire and he has to talk to everyone individually.
I'm sure. How does this? I just don't understand how there's 2 more episodes at this point.
What
like
do you mean?
It seems like it is a fucking catastrophe right now.
So you
and
think there
he's
should be like 10 more or just 1 more?
1 more. I think he needs to wrap it up and be like, yeah, sorry. Thought it was Susie. She left. Bye.
This is what I think is going to happen. Similar to the Colton finale. He probably will have breakups and goodbyes with Rachel and Gabby on Monday night. And like they'll be on stage and they'll like address shit. And then on Tuesday, he probably will address Susie to be like, where do things stand? Unless he's with a Rachel or Gabby, but I highly doubt it. I don't know. Those two are fucking upset when we see them in that scene where Gabby's in the orange dress and Rachel's in black. The one we've been building up to. I have to say, I'm shocked Gabby made it to the end. Someone who's like actually that cool and like doesn't give a fuck and like is that funny rarely makes it to the end on these shows. But like she actually seems dope. So,
I would love to meet her
you.
in person.
Yeah, good on you, Clayton. That's a good sign.
That is a good sign. I'll give him some props for that.
Yeah, we love to see it.
You're picking who I would have picked.
Those 3?
No, Gabby.
Oh, yeah. I think in hindsight,
it would have been Gabby and Serene for me.
My final 3 would have been Gabby, Serene, and Teddy. It's like a really solid top 3.
My final 3 would be Gabby and Serene.
Who else comes close? Who's like remotely normal?
I like Susie.
I like Susie too. I don't dislike her. I just feel like she's not in touch with how she's feeling.
I think she is in touch, but she doesn't want to tell him. I don't like you, sir.
I don't like you, sir.
That's what she should have.
It's a new way to break up. I don't like you, sir.
That's what she should have said, but she didn't want to hurt. I'm sure there's so many layers to it. She probably didn't want to hurt his feelings. She would look like a fucking asshole if she did that at this point right now.
It's true.
Like, and on top of it all, it was all rushed. I'm sure. I mean, it is all rushed. It's rushed every season. I think there was a little bit of nerves that were just like, oh my God, am I really going to be engaged?
I wonder what they did all week. Like, because there's a day off in between the dates. So it's like it takes a total of 6
if this would have happened if Susie went first.
I was just thinking that. If she went first and then had to see the other 2 come back, would that have been different or if she'd been in the middle? But I'm sure they made her go last to break her down. Like, I'm absolutely positive.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Especially if she's expressed to the producers.
Concern. Yeah, absolutely.
But if she would have went first, she probably would have told him. And then you probably wouldn't have slept with the other girls.
Right, which would have made for much less drama, which is why she had to go last. So
yeah.
I like how Gabby's just like, whatever, pick me because you want to pick me, but don't do whatever you want. Which is like really the best attitude you can have. That's
you don't want to force someone into picking you.
Which is kind of Susie's point, where she didn't want to give him the ultimatum, but she also didn't indicate any hesitation at all. But I just think it's because she didn't think she had a shot in hell. I just think she thought it was Rachel. We all thought it was Rachel.
Yeah.
So
until it wasn't.
Until she got that last rose. And I was also, when Rachel was talking to him at length about like how she was like so scared, I had to rewind a few times. I was like, what is she talking about? And I was like, Croatia? Was Rachel on the bubble in Croatia? And I don't know. I just really turned on her. I found her really annoying.
I became Team Susie, I think, after that bell tower, right?
Yeah.
It was like 2 episodes ago when I was like, I think Susie wins.
Yeah, that was
so up until that point, I was very much like the show's over. There was a moment where I thought Serene may, and then he sent her home. So I was wrong.
Susie started coming on strong about 2 weeks ago. They laid the track for this about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what happens next week. Also,
I am excited that we really have no idea. Like we've just thrown out like 10 different guesses.
It's true. I'm looking forward to Clayton's family. They're like, yeah, son, you fucked up. I love a stern family. That's what my family would be like.
Mine wouldn't be on the show.
Same.
But
they wouldn't show up. But if we were in an alternate universe where we're in a submarine, but also on The Bachelor, they would be very stern.
I don't really understand how he fucked up, but yeah.
By telling all of them.
He said you screwed the pooch. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah. Because I think that not only did Susie leave because he slept with the other two, which is whatever, fine. It's basically how the show goes. Telling 2 women that you love them.
3.
I think that 3 women that you love them is really rough. Because I don't know about Rachel, but for Gabby, it's clear that the breaking point is that he's told multiple people he's in love, not the sex part, which...
I don't know. Seemed like the sex, but I honestly don't think it was either. I think she just wanted out.
No, I'm saying Gabby, not Susie.
Oh, Gabby. Oh, when she's like...
when she's talking to the producers.
How can I believe anything? Yeah. Have you ever been in love with 2 people at once? Is
Me?
it possible?
No, I have not. Have you?
No. I don't think so.
I think that also, like, is it possible? I think that Clayton is probably experiencing so many emotions, as I said earlier, that, like, yeah, I think it probably
not
is
necessarily
possible.
Love.
Yeah, and also, like, people serve different
Real
purposes.
love.
So maybe you love someone for one thing and you love someone else for another. But, like, to choose one person to spend the rest of your life, I don't know. I feel like now we're in The Notebook. It's like, is it possible that she loved both of them at the same time?
Also, to me, this is one difference that I do agree with that The Bachelor never really touches on, but there's a difference between loving someone and being in love with someone.
Yes, I agree.
Like you can love a million people.
Yes, yes, I agree with that as well. I think also, like, one thing Clayton perhaps is not really capable of is like thinking a bit long term about like, what do you want your future to be like? What kind of life do you want to have? Or he's just like thinking about the women in front of him right now because he's having such a great time.
Yeah. To that point, if you start thinking about that, you pull a Matt James where you're like, I'm only sleeping with the person I'm going to pick. I'm not, what am I doing?
Yeah. Which is what you should do.
I don't think he's thinking about the future to that extent because he's still not, I think he's still unsure about who it is or was unsure about who it was. That he wasn't thinking that far, but like you have to start thinking that far so you can figure out who it is. You can't keep going on this ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll have to find out what happens next week. We will be back for the 2-night finale.
Wait.
I'm so excited.
Are you picking a winner?
Oh. No, I mean, I think he's single. You convinced me. What do you think?
I think he's single, but I wasn't sure if you changed your mind.
No, I think I can't see him ending up with any of those 3. Everyone's so mad. And also Clayton just seems sad.
He seems sad.
To me, the biggest indication is that the Bachelor people he's hanging out with are all single as well. That's the biggest indication. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you're just hanging out with dudes. All right, everybody. Thank you to Erika Cervantes for producing this episode and for bearing with me and Callie as we chatted for a long time before we started recording. Erika, you're the best. And thank you to Clayton for screwing up. This was a true delight to watch. Thank you to Susie for not wanting to be with Clayton, but not finding the proper words to express it. And thank you to all of you for listening. We will be back on Monday night.
Bye-bye.